made you want to get involved in adapting, Michael's book for the big screen?
I was a couple of things that really attracted me to Michael's book from the first time I read it. One being that personally, I've lived in France, lived there for 5 years, and when I was there, you can't help but notice that the national collective memory differs greatly to that of the UK. For British people, we're taught that the war was something you were either evacuated from or you were sent away to fight, whereas the French, the war was brought into their towns, their villages, they were occupied, it came into their very homes. And I'll never forget being told a story by an elderly lady from Brittany about her time growing up during the occupation, and how on the street where she lived, there were two brothers, one who joined the resistance and the other who collaborated with the Germans. And when the latter found out what his sibling was up to, he informed on him. His brother was arrested, taken away and never seen again. And it just stuck with me that the occupation really tested people's true character, and it put the entire country under great pressure. And that, with this story of occupation in a kind of isolated pocket of southwestern France, allowed us to explore that. The second thing really that attracted me to the novel was when you first read it, you can't help but notice how relevant it feels in today's world. The story might be 80 years old, set 80 years in the past, but with people crossing borders, risking their lives to get somewhere safe, fleeing conflict zones and persecution, you can't help draw parallels with Waiting for Anya.
And it's also, there's quite a few moments in there where it causes like quite a few butterflies in the stomach, anticipating that these kids are going to get away. But you've taken the brutality away from the German soldiers and you've concentrated more on the story of getting these children out. Was that a conscious decision to some of the German soldiers actually have kind of a humanity about them?
Yeah, we were faithful as much as possible to the book, and yeah, we have a German character, the corporal, who yes does have that human side. He's a soldier, and we all know that the Nuremberg defence of just following orders is no defence at all, and he kind of realises that during the film, and he's a Nazi. When you strip away his uniform, and when he connects with Joe, he's also a World War I veteran, a pacifist, and a father. And I think that it's important to see that although what he did and what he was part of is a horrific act, he was allowed to almost redeem himself with his relationship with Joe.
And you've also got quite a great cast as well. You've got Noah, you've got Anjelica and Jean as well. I mean, how does it feel to having such a great cast on board?
I feel incredibly lucky to have worked with the cast we got together on this movie. It was a conscious decision from the outset, really, to try and put together a cast that would appeal to a wide-ranging audience. Jean and Anjelica are heroes of mine from as a kid, and to work with them was a privilege and a pleasure. Not just on screen, but to have them in roles where their characters share a real deep connection was the best. And then bringing Noah to the project, fantastic, incredible, exciting young talent who had a lot of pressure in this project. Not a lot of people realise that when he was 13 at the time, he's playing the lead, he's in 95% of scenes. He's also got to deal with 4 hours of schooling every day. So his time in front of camera is very limited, which puts a huge amount of pressure on him. He can't go again and again and again because we just don't have the time. And he just knocked it out of the park. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely evening.
Thanks very much. You too. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey